Welcome to Nexus Classes. Today we are here with the topic of Business Studies Class 12, Chapter number 1, that is Nature and Significance of Management. Before beginning with the topic, I would like to tell you all that this channel provides all the information and subject content of Commerce Class 11 and 12. So all the students must subscribe the channel and hit on the bell icon so that you receive the notification as and when the content is posted on the channel. Now, first of all, let's discuss the topics to be covered under this chapter. The topics to be covered are the meaning and concept of management, functions of management, characteristics and importance of management, objectives of management, levels of management, nature of management, and concept of coordination. So, let's begin with what is management. To simply define what is management, that would include management is what a manager does. Actually, management is a process of getting things done with the aim of achieving all your goals effectively and efficiently. The time is evolving and the human needs are continuously rising. It is absolutely impossible to fulfill them single handed. Hence, we need group activity, and man cannot produce anything single handedly alone. That is why we need management. Thus, in this modern era, we can say that anything minus management is equal to zero. Because any successful organization do not achieve their goals by chance, but by following a deliberate process called management. What is management? If we, do the etymology of the term, we get manage plus men plus T. That means to manage men and material. Things. T stands for things, that is materials, that is resources. To manage men and material all together is management. The further slides will make the meaning of management and concept of management more clear to you. Let's begin with the sole meaning of management. It is a process that utilizes your resources. It influences human actions and facilities changes in order to accomplish organization goals. It is a process consisting of planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. Hence, to define management, we may say that, according to F.W. Taylor, management is the art of knowing what you want to do and then seeing that it is done in the best and cheapest way. And according to F.W. Taylor, management means to manage, is to forecast and to plan, to organize, to coordinate, to control. There are many more authors that have defined management in their own sense. While giving the introduction, I mentioned a definition as management is a process of getting things done with the aim of achieving goals effectively and efficiently. We got the three things out here. One is process, one is effectively, and one is efficiently. Let's discuss these three terms in the broad sense. Beginning with the terms effective and efficient. Do you know the difference between effectiveness and efficiency? I don't know if you people know it or not, but my slides will make it more clear. The term effectiveness means to do the things in the right way, whereas the efficiency means to do the things in the right way at the least cost. The term effectiveness has nothing to do with the cost. It just needs to complete the task on time, whichever it is given. The completion of the task is the core crux of the term effectiveness, whereas the term efficiency leads to the reduction of cost as much as possible. To complete the task with the minimized cost is efficiency. Let's see more of the details of the terms. Efficiency means getting the maximum output with the minimum input, takes into consideration the present state, doing the things consistently, and focuses on the process. Whereas effectiveness means measures if actual output meets the desired output. That means your task must complete with the no deviation thing. Whatever the desired output was must be your actual output. It takes into consideration the long-term strategy, having desires or innovative ways of working, and focuses on the results. Now let's talk about the process of management. It includes the 5 activities, that is planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. These are also known as the functions of management. Let's discuss them one by one. So, the first one is planning. What do you mean by planning? It is the most basic and the primary function of management. Whenever we plan to do a task, we plan how to do it. That means to decide in advance what is to be done, when it is to be done, by whom it is to be done, how it is to be done. All these things, the decision making process of deciding in advance that how the things are to take place is known as planning. Planning gives us a flow chart, gives us a basic idea of how the functions are to be performed, how the tasks are to be performed. The second function of management is organizing. It is the next step that we take after planning. It consists of the following steps, that is, determining and defining activities to achieve goal, grouping of activities into convenient and logical groups, and then assigning tasks to people at various levels. To precise and make it more clear, I would like to describe it in a broader sense. After setting up of plans, the next function of every manager is to organize the activities and establishing an organization structure to execute that plan. Setting up organizational structure, what is meant by that? It means to decide the framework of working, how many units and subunits or departments are needed, how many posts are needed, how many designations are needed in each department, how to distribute the authority and responsibility among different people, how these decisions are taken, organizational structure gets set up. And after all these grouping of duties, the posts, the designations are decided, then the function of staffing take place. This is the third function of management process. It refers to recruiting, selecting, appointing the employees, assigning them duties, maintaining cordial relations, and taking care of the problems of employees. What do you mean by recruiting? To invite people to apply for the job in your organization, then selecting them out of their capabilities and CV zone, then doing their training, then development, then promotion, looking after their grievances they face in our organization is all about staffing function. And then comes up the function of directing. Once the employees are appointed, there is need to instruct them and get the work done. Therefore, directing refers to giving the directions or instructions to employees by motivating them, supervising the activities, communicating with them. All this is done by managers. They act as the leaders and guide them to the right direction. And they do the task of supervising, motivating, communicating, or leading them, whatever it is. Hence, this is all what is included in directing function. Then comes up your controlling function. This is the last function that managers perform. In this function, actually, managers try to match their actual performance with the performance they had planned before beginning the organizational task. And if there is no match, they find out the deviation, and then for the deviation, they find out the corrective measures to come to the path of plan. Controlling function basically refers to all the performance measurements and follow up actions that keep the actual performance on the path of the plan. So that's all with the functions of planning. Now comes your characteristics of planning. There are few characteristics, that is universal, goal-oriented, continuous process, multidimensional, group activity, dynamic function, and intangible force. To discuss the characteristics of management, let's begin with management is a dynamic function. Dynamic. Now, what do you mean by dynamic is anything that keeps on changing is dynamic. Environment, the business environment is always dynamic because there are changes that keep coming in the environment. That may be socially, economically, technically, politically, whatever it is. All these forces being operated in the environment has a great influence over the management as well. Hence, the management has to make changes in its goal, its objectives, or any other activities according to the changes that take place in the environment. This is what is meant by the feature management is a dynamic function. In the slide in front of you, I have tried to explain management as a dynamic function using the example of McDonald's that had to bring a change in its menu, a big change in its menu when it entered the Indian market. Aloo Tikki burger is the major most example of that. All of you must have visited the McDonald's, so this example is the most convenient one to explain that to you. The next one is your management is all pervasive. What do you mean by pervasive is to be present and necessary at all levels. Now again, as I said, anything minus management is nothing, or we may call it zero. Hereby anything means every activity, economic, social, political, and pervasive to be meant as at all levels, maybe top level, middle level, or lower level of management. A mall needs to be managed as much as a school needs to be managed or a hospital needs to be managed. Therefore, management is required in every activity, at every field, in every level, everywhere. Now, the next feature we are discussing is management is a goal oriented process. Every organization sets up itself with a view to realize a specific goal. The goals of different organizations can be different. Like we may take example of a school and a company. If a school has a goal to provide high quality education, the goal of the company can be to earn the maximum profit. The basic question that arises here is how to realize the goal of the organization. The answer is very simple. It lies hidden in management. Management helps us to realize the goal of an organization. It fosters unitedness in the efforts of different employees to achieve that particular goal of the organization. The next objective that we are going to discuss is management is a continuous process. Why it is a continuous process? Because it has to be present in all the functions of management, like planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling, and these functions are to be continuously performed by the manager all the time. A manager is sometimes busy performing one managerial activity, he is sometimes busy to perform the other managerial activity, and all of those are continuous. Hence, management is a continuous process. The next feature of management that we are going to discuss is management is a group activity. To be precise, management always refers to a group of people involved in managerial activities. Hence, each individual performs his or her particular role at his or her particular status or department, right? Then the management functions are executed. Even the result of management affects every individual and every department of the organization. So it always refers to a group effort and not an individual effort at all. That is, all the features are performed by a team. Team can be divided into four letters different, TEAM, that would stand for together everyone achieves more. The next function of management is intangible because it cannot be physically seen and its presence can be felt only. The presence of management can be felt by seeing the orderliness in the organization and the coordination in the working environment. Hence, management is an intangible force. The next feature of management is a multi-dimensional activity. Because management is not one single activity, it includes three major activities, that is management of work, management of people, and management of operations. Beginning with management of work, we may say that every organization is definitely established for doing some work, like school provides education, hospital treats patients, factory produces, like etc. Right? Of these, no work can be completed satisfactorily without management. Hence, management of work is a part of management as a multidimensional activity. Next is management of people. Though we have a great deal of technological development in the society these days, but definitely without human resource, we will not be able to perform any kind of a task. Managing people has two types of dimensions. Number one, taking care of their individual needs. Number two, taking care of group of people as unity. Right? So management of people is one important task. Last is management of operations. What do you mean by operations? It refers to the activities of production cycle, like buying some inputs, converting them into semi-finished goods, etc. Management of operations concentrates on mixing management of work with management of people. Number one is management of work, number two is management of people, and management of operations is equal to management of work plus management of people. Hence, management is a multi-dimensional activity. To segregate, we may say that management of work includes the functions of planning, organizing, and controlling, whereas management of people includes the functions of staffing and directing. And management of operations include the operative activities that keep taking place in an organization, like production, sales, purchase, etc. Now, our next topic under management is objectives of management. There are three types of objectives of a management. Number one is organizational objectives, then personal objectives, then social objectives. Organizational objectives are the objectives in which existence of organization is talked about, whereas the personal objectives are the objectives where the personal needs of the employees of an organization are talked about, and the social objective definitely include the society, the social objectives. We have the objectives towards the society. Talking about the foremost one, organizational objectives. There are three types of objectives under organizational objectives, that is survival, profit, and growth of an organization. Organizational objectives basically refer to the utilization of human and physical resources available in the organization, considering the interest of stakeholders. The first one is survival, that the business must survive for a longer period of time. Profit, it definitely plays a very important role in facing business problems in the successful running of the business. So it must be ensured that the management should earn adequate profits. The other one is growth, which actually is about that every business wants to grow to the heights, like it can be measured in terms of sales and number of employees, products, capital investment, etc. Then comes about your social objective, the objectives that have to benefit your society, like to making of employment opportunities available to the society, to save the environment from getting polluted, to contribute in improving living standards, etc. The next are your personal objectives. There are various personal objectives with respect to employees of the organization, that is their financial needs, social needs, and the other higher level needs that they want to achieve in life. That's all. Now, the other coming up topic is importance of management. Importance of management can be divided into 5 parts, that is, number one, it helps in achieving group goals, increases efficiency, creates dynamic organization, helps in achieving personal objectives, and helps in development of society. So the first one to discuss is management helps in achieving the group goals. Needless to say that management is a goal oriented activity, and to achieve the goal we need the group to enforce together, work together, put all their efforts together. The next importance is that it helps in achieving the personal objectives. Obviously, every employee wants to get a suitable remuneration, share in profit, participation in management, promotion, etc. And all these personal objectives are taken care by the management. Hence, management helps in achieving personal objectives. The next importance is that management increases efficiency. Efficiency again has the relationship between returns and the cost. So definitely a manager increases efficiency through the optimum utilization of resources like man, machinery, material or money. Hence, that's simple. The next importance is as same as your feature, that management creates a dynamic organization. It has the same explanation as that of your feature. The next one is that management helps in the development of society, and it is as same as your objective of management. The upcoming topic is levels of management. Levels of management do not actually have a definite number. Its number is actually fixed according to the nature or size of the business, right? So the levels of management can be categorized as top level, middle level, and lower level. For the top level, there are fixed duties like to determine the objectives of an organization, to determine the policies of an organization, the activities of an organization, to scan the environment, to know the threats and opportunities approaching a business, to assemble all kind of resources, that may be raw material, that may be capital, to control the work performance of the business, to approve the budget of the business. Whereas the middle level has its different duties. For example, interpreting the policies that are being prepared by the top level, to prepare the organizational setup for everyone to work in, to appoint employees for different levels, for issuing instructions to the lower level, to motivate the employees working at the lower level, to create a cooperative environment in the business to work in. The lower level has its different duties, like to submit the workers' grievances. For all the platform workers, they are providing a place to submit all kind of grievances, and the lower level staff then submits it to the middle level, and the middle level passes it on to the top level. The lower level people ensure the working environment must be proper. They ensure the safety of the workers, labor class. To help the middle level management is their main duty, to invite suggestions from platform workers, and to create better human relations is the task that a foreman does, that a supervisor does, who are at the lower level of management, supervisory level of the management. Now the next question is, who all are present at different levels to perform all these functions? So at the top level, there are board of directors, CEO, chief executive officer, chairman, managing director, general manager. And at the middle level, you find departmental manager, deputy departmental manager, functional manager. Different types of managers are present at middle level of management. At the lower level, you have your supervisors, your foremen. The lower level is also called supervisory or operational management level. Also, you must know that there is one other level, which is platform area below the lower level of management. There all the non-managerial members, or say the workers, are working. Right. With this topic has ended. The other topic is nature of management. The nature of management can be categorized into management as a science, management as a profession, or management as an art. Beginning with management as an art. Art is basically the practical application of existing knowledge skillfully. Some of the features of art are existence of theoretical knowledge, personalized application based on practice and creativity. Now let's test whether the management has the following features. Definitely. A manager needs to have the theoretical knowledge because it is a kind of literature available in the various areas of management. One should have this feature to be a manager. Personalized application. Definitely, management does possess this feature as well, because the practical use of theoretical knowledge varies from individual to individual. No matter you learn the theory, no matter I learn the theory, but the practical application of that theory will be always different by you or me or anyone else. Therefore, we may say that art is a very, very personalized concept, right? Then you have based on practice and creativity. Just as art can be embellished with lot of practice, same way managerial skills can also improve with practice. Hence, management possesses this feature of art too. So we can clearly say that management is an art. After we have proved that management is an art, let's talk about if management is science or not. Now to know this, let's first of all go through the features of science. The features of science include that it's a systematic body of knowledge. There are principles based on experimentation, principle based on logical and systematic operations, universal validity, and replication if possible. Now let's know whether the following features which we have studied are present in management or not. So let's first of all categorize features which are present in management and features which are not present in management. Features which are present in management are systematic body of knowledge. Yes, management is a systematic body of knowledge because it has its own theory and principles which are developed by the management experts after years of research. The second feature which is present in management is principles based on experimentation. Yes, this feature is also present in management because after development of management, it took years for collection of facts, their analysis and experiments. People used to practice the principles of management in their practical life. Hence, this feature is definitely present. The features which are not present are universal validity. this is definitely not valid because universal application of all the management things is not possible because one management differs from the other. If we say that strictness works in school, that doesn't mean that the strictness works in offices too. It's not practically possible. And same way, even the features of principles based on logical and systematic operations, principle of replication, these are not present in management. Hence, management is a partial science, not a complete science. So, we may conclude that management is an art as well as science. As a science, management, with the help of its principles, provides the necessary guidance to the managers to achieve practical efficiency, and with reference to art, management in the form of best work technique helps the managers to face every type of situation successfully. Therefore, it is reasonable to treat management as well as art as well as science. Now, let's talk about management as a profession. What is profession? Profession basically is a well defined body of knowledge, and everybody's entry is not possible because there is restricted entry system. There is a professional association behind every profession. There is an ethical code of conduct, and the motive is service motive. Hence, I guess the meaning of profession is clear. Let's compare the two, profession and management. Talking about the first point, well defined body of knowledge. This is the foremost quality of a professional, that he must have a specialized knowledge. Management has its own principles based on experiments. It requires special competence to bring them into use. Hence, management can be accepted as a profession. Second is restricted entry. The entry to a profession is restricted through acquiring an educational degree. Like for a teacher, it's necessary to acquire the degree of Bachelor of Education. Same way for a law profession, it's necessary to get a degree of law. Therefore, now these days, management has been made like we need to get a MBA degree to enter into this. But somewhere it's not compulsory, so we cannot say that management this has a restricted entry. Management cannot be accepted as a profession as of now. Next is professional association. For all the professions, special associations are established. Like for doctors, they have Medical Council of India, for lawyers, Bar Council of India. In case of management, various management associations are set up at national and international levels. For example, AIMA in New Delhi, NIPM in Kolkata. But legally, it is not compulsory for managers to be a part of any kind of organization. So presently, this feature of profession is also not present in management, but we think soon it will be. Next is existence of ethical codes. For every profession, there are a set of ethical codes fixed by the professional organizations. But as of now, no such ethical code presence is there for management. So again, this feature is not present in management. The last is service motive. The basic motive of every profession is to provide services. But nowadays, only profit maximization can be seen the sole goal of an enterprise. So again, this feature is not present in management, but I think soon it will be included. On comparing these features of profession with management, we can conclude presently all features of profession are definitely not present in management, but soon there will be. So we can say that management is on the path of becoming a profession. It cannot be recognized as a full fledged profession like doctor, lawyer, but soon it will be recognized as a full fledged profession. And with this topic also ends. The next topic is coordination. Apart from the five functions of management, that is planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling, there is one more important function that every manager has to perform, and it is called coordination. It is not only a function of management, but it is the essence of management. The process by which manager synchronizes the activities of different departments is known as coordination. It is a force that binds all the other functions of management. Hence, it is even more important than those functions of management. Coordination is a very important function of management as it integrates the efforts of different individuals, departments, and specialists. To make the importance of coordination more clear, let's study the following points. Number one, growth in size. The need of coordination increases with the increase in the size of the organization because large the organization, more the persons, and more the need to synchronize their efforts of employees towards the common goal. The next heading is functional differentiation. The functions of an organization are divided into different departments, sections, divisions, and each department works in isolation by giving more importance to its objectives. But in actual practice, these departments are interlinked and interdependent. In every organization, it is so. So, there is more need to relate and bring them together so that the organization people feel one part only. Hence, the coordination is needed to minimize the differences among the different departments. The last point in this is specialization. In large and modern organization, there is high degree of specialization and each specialist feel that they are the only qualified people. And they always take right decisions in the right direction. There are number of specialists working in an organization. There can be chaos, confusion due to that. So there is a need for them to all coordinate in the common direction and get the maximum benefit of their specialization. Now the next topic is features of coordination. Number one, coordination integrates group efforts. The concept of coordination applies to group efforts only. There is no need for coordination when a single individual is working. Hence, obviously, coordination integrates group efforts. It ensures the unity of efforts by emphasizing on unifying the efforts of different individuals so that conflicts may not arise, right? Coordination ensure all department work hand in hand and create balance in the department. It acts as a binding force in all departments. For example, HR department plus purchase department plus sales department plus finance department, इन सबको मिला के एक company बनती है, is equal to a company. Next feature is coordination is a continuous process. Coordination is a non-ending, never-ending function. It is a function which remains continuous no matter its degree may vary. The managers work continuously to achieve coordination and maintain coordination because without it, the functions will be inefficient. The next is coordination is a all pervasive function because it is again universal and required at all levels in all departments in everything due to interdependence of various activities on each other. Business as well as non-business organizations even require coordination. Right. Then the next is coordination is responsibility of all managers because it is not the task of top level managers or just middle level managers or just lower level managers. Everyone needs to coordinate with each other to achieve the organizational goals. The last is coordination is a deliberate function. Of course, it is a deliberate function. Deliberate means something which is done consciously and intentionally. Every manager tries to coordinate because it has to avoid confusion and chaos and it is must to coordinate. Hence, coordination is a deliberate function. The next topic is coordination is the essence of management because it is needed to perform all the functions of management. Coordination is needed in planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling at all levels in all departments because it is the core essence of management. Now let's jump to the last topic, which is coordination and cooperation are two related terms but different. The difference has been drawn into a table and shown to you in the slides coming up. You may take the screenshots and note down in your notes. Coordination is the process of achieving unity of actions among interdependent activities, whereas cooperation is just the voluntary effort of the individuals to work together. Coordination does not arise automatically from the voluntary efforts, whereas cooperation definitely arises from the voluntary efforts only. Coordination includes the scope of cooperation and is a wider concept, whereas cooperation is a simple, narrow concept. That's all with the chapter. Please write to us in the comments below that how did you like the video. Do not forget to press the like button if you liked the video and do not forget to drop your comments and press the bell icon for the notifications of the upcoming videos. Thank you.